Hello and welcome to another episode of Tales from a Professional Nerd. My name is BryanCPSteele and I will be your nerd today and any other day that you watch one of my silly little shows. Hi everybody. So I'll get into the week in Bryan here in a minute. Um, I just want to say right off the bat that today will be somewhat of a short episode. This is not going to be an episode like a lot of the others. This is um, mostly me getting kind of information on my brain and sort of just kind of updating you on how things are going. Generally speaking, I know I do a week in Bryan every week, and those are kind of broad strokes overviews. But today I'm going to get into a little more topic about me. Um, so which means if you were really only here for like gamer information, design information, you're a huge Warzone fan and you're hoping for massive updates to that game or anything like that. This might not be the episode for you, and I know that I'm not supposed to say that. I'm not supposed to be like, go ahead and click on something else. But I always want to be honest with my viewers, and basically today is going to be basically me checking up and kind of just letting you know how things in life are going. And the reason why that's important is because coming up shortly is things are going to be starting to get a little crazy. I've got convention season coming up that officially starts in 2 weeks with Origins. I mean, technically, the convention season started with Adepticon for me, but things become a little more rapid succession with Origins, and then Gen Con, and then Gamehole Con, and so potentially Warfare Weekend. It all depends on whether or not I can arrange for place to stay, so forth and so on. All right, so let's get into the week in Bryan. So the week in Bryan it's been good. I gameplay wise, I'm playing a lot of that goofy 16-bit top-down game called Streets of Rogue on the Xbox with my son, and I've still been playing the living heck out of Gears Tactics, which again I know there were some people who are like Gears Tactics, you should play this, that, and the other thing. I just want to let you know, I'll try everything. In fact, just last week I started playing for the first time on the Xbox Valheim. It's a cute game. It's like basically grown up Minecraft. Like you have to do all of the chop down the trees, use the wood to build tools, the tools to build stuff to start. But it's got a Viking theme and it's cool. It's a fun little game. Um, I don't think that I would play it by myself, but the fact that my buddy Bryan is very interested in kind of building our world together, that's been kind of fun. Uh, I got to play Casting Shadows, the Unstable Unicorns or Unstable Games, um, kind of wizard battle game. They have something on Kickstarter. The Unstable Games have something on Kickstarter right now. I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically a bunch of nature elements fighting each other. It's cool. It looks neat. I was kind of hoping that they would have some cool like unstable unicorns here to slay, maybe some wrong party cards or something. Some of the cards for their other games, I was kind of hoping they have like stretch goals and stuff, but they don't seem to be they don't seem to be going that direction with this Kickstarter. Who knows? Maybe as things unlocked, I'm still been paying attention, so we'll see. Game wise, I think that's really it. Oh no, that is not true. But since the last time we spoke, I got to play my halfling Brad Pitt style drunk monk in my buddy Albert's game. which we are learning. We are learning more and more about the greater plot of his game. Um, that group of friends of mine, my old school role playing friends, they really do. They've been playing in their own worlds and like multiple campaigns. They've fleshed out their worlds dramatically. Which is awesome. You know, obviously, you know, it's great to be world building, but we're talking like 30 plus years worth of world building, and a lot of their games I have noticed, just you know, watching, you know, reading patterns and things. A lot of their games tend to be, we're playing this campaign to flesh out a particularly epic moment, like a particularly, you know, epic tale in the overall, you know, genre of their world, or the overall setting of their world. And we're starting to see that this is going to be a big, this is going to be a big epic thing about, you know, the an ancient hero or an ancient, you know, villain returning, and you know, the rise of a cult of an ancient god. And like, it's going to be very cool. Albert is a great storyteller, and I'm excited to see where things go. I know that, well, yes, my character is, you know, a badass little fighter, but I know that I am partially comic relief. You know, I know that a lot of the things that I make that character do is to add a little levity to the game. Hopefully, I do so without being annoying. That's my goal. But in the last session, you know, because I say so many weird random things, and put, you know, put two and two together and come up with 12. It's funny when one of my weird conspiracy theories, or one of my, you know, matter of factisms become true, and that actually, it really looks like that's gonna happen. I came up with this fun, like, just off the wall, oh, well, obviously he's possessed by a ghost, because, you know, like, and it's turning out that it looks like it might be. And so of course we had this like moment where my character was like, all right, everybody, I was right, let me hear it, let me hear how much you know I was right. Yeah, so it was fun. We had a good time. This upcoming weekend, I've got, let's see, what do we got going on this weekend. I've got a board game day with my Indianapolis friends, which I I'm so happy to be able to get down there and play a big, because we'll probably end up playing, if not one or two, like larger scale board games. We'll be able to get like a full Twilight Imperium game, or you know, Cosmic Encounters, or one of those large scale games is what I'm hoping that we do. Because I don't ever get to do those, and a lot of my Indianapolis friends, sadly, because at this point, more often than not, you know, they get together and they're like, well, you know, it was, you know, spur of the moment, or you know, you know, we didn't think to invite you because you are, you know, an hour and a half away. And you know, to be completely honest, and I know some of them watch this, it is very hard to be someone who is normally a social, and like, I thrive to spend time with my friends, to be cut off by something as small as an hour worth of a drive. So yeah, there's that. You know, I don't want to turn this into a giant, you know, ooh, poor is, you know, woe is Bryan. You know, he's too busy to, you know, he's constantly working. Whoa, you know, woe is me. But it is one of those things where it's, I see them getting together, and I see them playing a lot of things, and doing stuff, and having game days, and you know, getting together. And I wish that we all lived in the same town again. But obviously, that's, as grown-ups be grown-ups, that's not a viable it's not a viable desire. So, my second best thing is I just kind of hope that maybe, get a little more headway, a little more foreknowledge that something's going to happen, because I can hopefully schedule and maybe make that trip. But I can't if I only find out about it a couple of hours before it exists, because I am a one-car household. Me and my wife and our kids, and we only have one car, and it's hard for me to take an entire day where I basically tell them, hey, you're stranded at the house because I've got the car. All right. Again, I should not have just gone on that little rant, that little wander. Long story short, I'm very excited about Saturday. That I'm going to get to see everybody and play some more games and eat some meats and cheeses. And then Sunday I get to run my Transformers game. I'm excited for seeing how the story unfolds. I love the players that I love those guys, and I'm hoping. So as someone who wrote the adventure and is also running the game, it is so interesting to see the different kinds of characters interact with the scenes that I created. Because when you're an adventure writer or whatever, when you write an adventure, you take that into consideration. You are building kind of a baseline for these encounters, and players being players, you have no idea where this is going to go. You have a general idea what you would like to happen, what the narrative is going to do, but you can't. If one of your players is got some kind of random quirk or something that obviously isn't written into the scenario, it's interesting to see that how the ripples in the pond factor is, like, what happens from there on out. So that's always fun, and take that, and considering also that this weekend Transformers Rise of the Beasts come out. I think what I may do is turn it into after we get done playing the game, hey everybody, let's go see the movie, and stay in that thought process. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so that's gaming, the last week in gaming, which actually has been a decent amount, surprisingly. So work wise, work on Warzone is going great. Alex and I discussed kind of what the next steps were, for now that the Kickstarter's done, and we now know what we need to do. We've contacted the gentleman who backed us at the level to be able to orchestrate one of the new units. It's very cool. I'm excited to see where this goes. Now, the hardest part for me, especially because I'm active on the fan Warzone Eternal Discord channel. The hard part for me is not jumping in and answering every question and being like, oh my god, and when someone has a comment or maybe a question, of not just being like bleh, and that adds to the frustration of that. I know, aside from playing at conventions, aside from play testing, and any store appearances and stuff that I might be able to make, it's not going to be out for almost another year, and that's so hard. It's so hard because this game is so awesome, and I love the models, love the game, love. I want all of these fans. I want all of our backers to be like ready to just boom hit the ground running and be like, let's play. But there are steps that have to be taken ahead of time. We've got to get the rules in a finalized state. They are almost there. There's a few, just a couple of tiny little bits that need not polishing to change them, but polishing in how they are described to avoid confusion. The first round of units are all but, I mean, I want to say there's maybe like one or two aspects that need tweaking, and then those guys will be done. And then we got to get the new cards made and things. We've already started play testing on the next wave of things. Like it's so cool to be part of that process and to see this game blossoming like it's supposed to. I just, I see all these people that are so eager and chomping at the bit to get to play, and I would love to be able to wave my magic wand and be like, all right, everything is ready, let's do this tomorrow. But I can't, and it's not. So instead, I have to just plug along and hope for the best, and wait for each individual piece. Sorry, I had eyelash in my eye. Wait for each piece to fall together in the puzzle until eventually we can say, all right, everybody, bam, check this out. Things are going to start showing up. Or, I mean, honestly, even just when the rules and those first sets of cards are available and finalized, so we can give them out to backers so they can start doing proxy games and stuff. That will be exciting for me as well. But we're not at that point yet. We need to get there. So please be patient if you are one of those fans. Work on the novel for Shadowrun continues. I am hoping to get a couple more good, a couple more solid weekends or whatever, late nights where I can really get into the mindset of the narrative and just throw certain, kind of stream of consciousness writing, which we'll get into that here in a minute. As far as I hope I will have more time to do so shortly. And then stuff at Evil Genius has blown up in a great way. I am actively looking. I chummed the waters to look for some adventure writers. I've got some people that are cooking up some cool stuff for me in the Pacific Rim franchise. The Pacific Rim Kickstarter ended very well. I can't wait for the cinematic adventure path, the Dominion of Iron, come out. There's gonna be some cool stuff in there that's from yours truly. But I really, I've got two amazing writers, three amazing writers that are putting together the actual adventure itself. Chris Ramsley, Joseph Blomquist. It took me. I was like, it starts with a B. Starts with a B. Joe Blomquist and Monica Verda. I can never say her last name. Monica. She's awesome. Regardless of all of those things, I'm really excited. We had an awesome meeting yesterday to discuss some of the things that we want to make sure are in the adventure path that aren't just that kind of help set the stage and set the tone for what a Pacific Rim game should be. So I'm really excited about that. Also, I'm ordering some new art from our artists for very key aspects of that product. So I'm excited there too. No, so yeah, just good things. I've got Origins right around the corner. Gen Con's right around the corner. Gen Con's still a couple months away, but in the grand scheme of things, it is something that we have to already start thinking about. There's a lot going on, and Evil Genius has the owner, Dave Scott, is an awesome dude, and he and I have had enough cool conversations that I know that things with Everyday Heroes and Pacific Rim and Kong Skull Island and all the others, Escape from New York, Total Recall, The Crow, all these other licenses that we've got cinematic adventures for, it's gonna be an awesome array of things, especially at conventions. getting to play one shots in some of these worlds is going to be super cool. So yes, I'm peddling the wares, but so if you get a chance to get a copy of the Everyday Heroes rule set, you should. It's a cool rule set, and going forward, you're going to be seeing a lot more from that rule set, and a lot more that builds off of it. And if I have anything to say about it, a lot more that I particularly will have a say in. Yes, that's pretty much it professionally. Painting wise, I'm putting the wraps on my Capital Starter faction box, the 3D pre-master prints, specifically so we can demo some Capital stuff at Origins. I know here pretty soon, in the next couple of weeks, or at least in the next month following, I am going to be heading up to Michigan to record probably a battle report with the guys from the Dead Zone podcast. So that'll be fun, and I don't know who I'll bring. Because I've got at this point several starter faction boxes, and who knows, maybe depending on the finalization of some rules, maybe I'll bring something scary from the Kickstarter. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, I think that's it for work stuff. Personally, I have officially started trying to watch my carb intake again. And Natalie and I are going to start hitting the gym a little with a little more frequency. But now we get into the reason why we're doing today. And now you've probably noticed, or at least wondered, why I've got this red, like, rubbed raw, ouchie ouch spot across my nose. Well, I didn't get beat up. I didn't get in a car accident or anything like that. Several months ago, I was diagnosed with with severe sleep apnea. Severe as in, if I don't get this taken care of, you die a little every night kind of thing. And I was actually having issues with basically onset like narcolepsy, where I was sleeping so poorly at night. On average, I was getting I may have been in bed for maybe 5 to 6 hours. I was actually only getting maybe 2 hours of sleep a night. That's what the sleep study, let us know, and that it was bordering on dangerous. I noticed about 6 months ago that I was falling asleep unexpectedly. And not falling asleep as in like, oh, I'm tired, yawn, I better go sit down, I'll take a nap. No, as in like mid-writing, mid-sentence, mid clickety-clack on the keyboard, and full on passed out sleeping. It was bad. It was bad. And like maybe 2 months ago, I was actually late to an important meeting. It was an online meeting, but I was late to an important meeting because while I was waiting to jump into the Zoom, I passed out. And not passed out like fell out of my chair or anything, but basically, fell asleep. And it was deep enough of a, emergency recap sleep that I did not hear the phone call. I did not hear my phone go off. I did not hear the calendar alarm. It was bad. It was bad. I was exhausting myself during the day, working, I was in the studio for 10 to 12 hours a day, and at night only getting effectively like 2 hours of sleep. And it was bad. It was very bad for me. My health definitely declined. I gained a ton of weight, and my stress levels could not have been higher. Medically, the doctor let me know that, while, yeah, my blood pressure was a little bit up, and my cholesterol was weird. We already talked about that story. That I was remarkably healthy for all of this, and that they could not, based off my numbers and based off of, the tests they were doing, they couldn't really figure out why I was feeling the way that I was. And at the end of the day, it came down to, you know, I was working myself too hard, and not, the regenerative powers of sleep were being ignored. So I did the sleep study. I got the monitor, and all the everything that insurance required me to do. And last week, you know, to get us all the way through to up to now. Last week, I met with an actual like apnea specialist, and we had a little conversation. And I'm going to be particularly honest with you guys, because I love you. So the average person, the average human being, has an apneic rating of 0 to 5. And that is an average number of times that an apneic episode, which is, basically you stop breathing, or you hold your breath unexpectedly, or basically it's a fancy way of saying something screwed up with how you're breathing during your sleep. And the average human rating like elephant rating is different. The average rating for a person is between 0 and 5, and that's the number of episodes that they have on average per hour. And a lot of times it might be that you just rolled over and put your arm in your mouth, or maybe you snore particularly, and your epiglottis blocked the airway for a second. This stuff happens. We are living creatures with lots of moving parts. At 30, I think the doctor said, I didn't write it down, but at like 35, at an apneic rating like 35, you are in the danger zone, where now things have started to happen where it's going to start causing issues with your with the cycles of sleep, and you're probably getting up multiple times a night, and that sort of thing. And anything like past like 36, I think is what they said, is considered, it needs to be treated in some fashion. We've got to get you a CPAP machine. We got to get you, taking a look at, if there's more drastic things that need to be done. And my rating after my sleep test was a 78. And the doctor basically was like, yeah, so looking at all these numbers, there's no question why I was passing out into like narcoleptic sleep during the day. At any given moment, if I stopped doing something, why I would zonk out, why I would, find myself losing 15-20 minutes at a time. It was because over the course of a night's sleep, I was ceasing breathing for up to a minute at a time, about 60 times a night. It was bad. It was bad. It was dangerous. It was no good. I just know, for the longest time I was like, I'm working too hard. I stay up too late. I get up too early, all that stuff. But there was way more to it than that. And so we got myself on some, on a system of things I need to watch for. And most importantly, sorry, that eyelash is bugging me. But most importantly, I received one of the new fancy CPAP machines. And what the CPAP machines, what CPAP does, if you didn't know, it basically just helps force oxygen into your system and kind of reminds your body to breathe normally while you're asleep. And my particular machine is very fancy, and it's got this big hose and all this stuff. And you know, I look like a cyborg when I'm asleep, but it has a nose mask. And while the nose mask is very, you know, soft and gentle, I have very sensitive skin. So this that you're seeing, this like red ridge, is effectively my skin is being very fussy about wearing a mask every night. I used to get it a little bit when we wore masks all the time for the pandemic. Um, but I do know that it will get better. The doctor says that it will clear up. Eventually, my nose will get used to seeing that thing every night. Um, but I did want to just say, for the next couple of videos, if you notice I've got this like red line, it is not because I'm in a fight club that I can't talk about, or that I wear the world's heaviest sunglasses. It is because I've started to do this CPAP machine at night. Now for the positive news. So, been wearing the CPAP machine for a week, and the very first night, I slept for 4 unbroken hours. 4 consecutive hours without getting up, without waking up and spending 20 minutes trying to get back to sleep, or anything like that. And that morning, when I did eventually get out of bed and started about my day, and I thought about it, that I can't honestly remember the last time, aside from like maybe having a few too many drinks, or something that's like, party time. um I can't remember the last time, if I wasn't sick or under the influence, that I slept more than 3 hours consecutively. Like and that probably goes back years, 5, 6 years that I can think of. And every night I've been able to wear the mask a little bit longer. They want me to, at least for this first month, they want me to wear it for at least 4 hours a night. I'm up to being able to do 6 or 7. Um, it's a process, and it is definitely weird. And it is the opposite of resting easy right before bed. Your head hits the pillow. It is not like that. You got to put this thing on, you got to get it going, you got to hit the button, you got to work on your breathing, and then you got to fall asleep. But that being said, I've only had it for a week, and I have noticed a pretty drastic difference during the day, as far as the me being tired, me having those sleepy episodes, and at night, specifically during the night, has been a huge difference of how often I have to wake up, how often I think I've gone to chill out in my easy chair once since I started this whole thing. Um, it's it's night and day. Not to throw in a sleep pun, but it really is. I I was very skeptical about this whole thing, um, but now that I'm actually doing it, now that it's part of my everyday routine, um, I think this is going to be really good. I think it's going to be good for my productivity. I think it's going to be good for my health. I know it's going to be good for my health. And honestly, if it gets to the point where I am, um, sleeping all night through, That it's awesome. It's awesome. So that is one of the big things that I wanted to talk about today, is because I wanted to be honest with you guys, that it is very stressful, especially being a freelancer, which I'm not anymore. But it is very stressful in this industry. It's very stressful, being any kind of creative, because at any given moment, your next project, or the thing that you're putting together, might not be taken well, or you might read a review that makes you, pull your hair out. It is, it's a lot. And stress takes a pretty big toll on you mentally and physically. um, and I know that a lot of us collectively are not in the greatest of shape, and I just really kind of wanted to take a moment and be honest with you guys, completely honest with how things have gone, how things have been, and that I want to be around as a father and a husband, and a friend, and everything. I want to be able to do all the things that I want to be part of. Um, so it was very scary to hear just how awful my sleep apnea was. Combine that with my weight that I need to work on. I kind of got a bit of a scare, and it was, I try to keep a very positive face. I try and keep a happy smile, and I not burden people with all of my, all of my issues and hiccups, and family, drama and whatnot. Um, but it was very scary, and I am super happy now that I have taken steps, and that we are getting things taken care of. I'm not going to say that things are taken care of, because I'm still overweight, and this device is still relatively new, and it's making a weird red stripe on my nose. Um, but all of these things, I know that I am taking steps to rectify things and head in the right direction, because I want to be able to be here to, I want to not hear necessarily about the channel, but I want to be making games. We joke that, when we retire, I don't see myself ever actually stopping. Like, I love what I do. I love making games and writing stories and writing novels, and designing rule sets and things. I plan on doing that until I can't anymore. Um, and it is very refreshing to know that I'm helping make sure that that continues longer and stronger. So that's kind of where, but that's sort of what this video was about. Was basically, I wanted to jot it down verbally, get it on some digital paper, so to speak. That I really take better care of myself, and don't push so damn hard all the time. And I'm thinking that this evil genius gig is going to help with that. Being in a position where I'm not having to chase down contracts every other month. Being put into a position where I am able to actually pass on gig opportunities, knowing that I'm set, I'm good with what I need to get done. Because heck, yesterday, while I was in a meeting talking about Pacific Rim with my colleagues, and I had something pop up on Facebook. I can't say who it is, and I can't say what it's about, but I had someone basically ask me if I wanted to be part of a project that it crossed their desks, and I would have been perfect for it. I do not disagree with them. I would have been perfect for it, but current Bryan executive producer, designer Bryan doesn't need to add any more work to his plate right now in order to survive. So I actually let them know that I couldn't be a part of it. That while I absolutely appreciated the offer, I have too much going on right now, and that I hope that it's super successful, and I love to see what they come up with, beyond me. And there was a time not too long ago that no matter what no matter what that would have been, I would have said yes. Unless it was something offensive or whatever, but like any kind of even remotely lucrative project that I enjoyed, or thought I might enjoy, I would have taken on, no matter what else was going on in my life, no matter what else was on my plate. And I just would have basically said, I make jokes of, sleep when you're dead. Who needs sleep? I used to make those jokes all the time because I was working myself, 10, 12, whenever I'd grab another gig and add 2 more hours to my workday. And it felt nice to know that I didn't have to. It is, hindsight. I look back at what I was doing to myself to get by, and I just really kind of wanted to sort of put it out there to thank everybody for being with me and staying with me and helping me become the professional that I am. Because without you guys, without your support, without you buying the products and playing the products and telling your local stores how much you like this stuff, and responding to my tweets, and even in a more direct fashion, without some of your help directly, pledging on Kickstarters, throwing money to my wife's GoFundMe for her medical bills, CashApping the channel to help us keep going, just all these things. I really wanted to send a thank you to all of that, because there's been a lot of hard work, and I'd like to say that talent is what keeps me here. It would all be moot, and it'd all be for nothing if you guys, the fans, the viewers, the consumers, didn't have my back. So today's video, while I know is a lot of rambling and is me, kind of opening up about my health stuff, it's a thank you. It's a thank you to you guys. So I appreciate all of you, and I hope that I continue to make awesome stuff for you guys to enjoy, and for us to maybe enjoy together occasionally at a convention or at a special event or something. Either way, so I think I'm at the spot where I could continue rambling and talk about the fact that I need to replace the brakes on my car, and I need to we've got movies coming out over the next couple weeks, and then I got Origins, and I could go on and on and on and on, but I think I want to end with a heartfelt I love you guys, collectively. That if it wasn't for the people who appreciate the work that we do, we wouldn't be able to do it. There'd be no reason for it. So thank you, and I love you. I think that's it. I hate to end on a weird kind of, squishy moment, but I just want you guys to be healthy, be safe, get vaccinated, wear your mask, get boosted, wear a mask if you need to. If you've got sleep issues, go see a sleep doc. I want you guys to be here with me to enjoy all the cool, fun things. So please do all of that. Try and make every single room that you enter a little happier by the time you leave, and play some games. We will see you next week with a more actual gamer-centric video, less heartfelt, squishy stuff. I promise. See you then.